Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a completely different video than I normally do, something pretty personal. If you've read the description right now, you know that this is a big part of my story. This is the miscarriage that I had, and I wanted to share this story because I talk pretty openly about it among people that know me, and I've talked about it a little bit on my blog, but I haven't really done a video about it, and I just wanted to share my story to hopefully help someone out. But also, today, October 15th, is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day. So I felt like it was a good time to share my story, and hopefully it'll help someone out. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible because I also want to be as unedited as possible. I want to try to not edit this video. So I hope that you'll stick with me as I talk about my story. So I am so fortunate and very grateful that getting pregnant for me was really easy. The first few pregnancies were really great, no issues, healthy babies, the whole 9 yards. So when I got pregnant for the third time, it started out the same way. Easy pregnancy. I was having a little bit more morning sickness or all-day sickness compared to the other two, but everything was going well. The ultrasound, everything looked great. There were no issues until I hit 14 weeks. I started having some symptoms. They weren't super alarming, but just something didn't feel right. So I went in and had an ultrasound, and even going into the ultrasound, I thought there's nothing wrong with the baby. Like, I felt like I was, feeling the baby kick, and, everything was fine. It was just probably something to do with my placenta or something. I wasn't too worried about it. And I have super active babies on ultrasounds. And so when we walked into the room and she started the ultrasound, it was just dead silence. I mean, there was nothing. There was no movement. No one was saying anything. It was just silent. And I just remember as soon as the baby came up on the TV screen, I just knew that the baby was gone. And so the technician was very thorough just to make sure, and she looked at us and said, I'm sorry, but we can't find a heartbeat. And it was very surreal for me because that's just something I hadn't dealt with, and something that I never struggled to get pregnant, and I never just thought that I would have an issue with that. So I was just kind of in this surreal place for a while before I had my surgery. And so I had my surgery, and then I think that's when it hit me. My body, I didn't know this, but your body goes into a postpartum stage. All your hormones are released. You basically go through postpartum, but without the baby. And so the pain I was having from the surgery was the same pain that I had after I had babies. And even little things like people were bringing me meals like they would after I had a baby, and it was a very weird feeling, and it was hard to explain to friends and family that hadn't gone through that. Luckily, I did have some friends that had gone through that, and so when I said, oh my gosh, I feel like I've gone through postpartum, they explained to me, yeah, me too, that's what you go through. It's so difficult. And I just wanted to hold something, and so I would hold my kids or get one of their stuffed animals just because I needed to hold something. That was just really hard, and that's what wrecked me, is just that after the surgery, just really, like, I woke up from surgery just crying because I was like, it's over. This really happened. And so it took my body a while for my hormone levels to be normal again. So that was kind of hard. I had a hard recovery. Just took a while. And life moved on, and I was still just hurting and just in a really just crummy place. It just wrecked me, and I didn't know what to do, and I was thankful I got pregnant again. I was so focused on getting pregnant again before the due date, which was in October, and that was probably wrong to do. Even the doctor said, wait, because it was a very tough pregnancy, but I did get pregnant again, and I was 100% grateful for that. But I was pregnant worried about that baby, and still dealing with this loss. So we did a couple of things to just help me to remember the baby. There's several things that you can do. There's several things online that people talk about to help, as you're grieving. And one of those was we named the baby Ansley. It was a name that I really loved, so we named the baby Ansley. And I also got a necklace with all of my baby's names on it, and Ansley's charm has angel wings on it. And then eventually, about 2 years later, I got this tattoo with all of my babies. So I've just done little things to remember Ansley. On the day that was her due date, we released some balloons, and just little things like that to remember her. And so, like I said, life went on, and I was pregnant again, and I don't think people meant to, but I think some people felt like, oh, she got pregnant again, so she's fine. But I wasn't. I would have so many bad days where I just woke up and it was just like the first thing on my mind, like I lost a baby. And I was just going through my head a lot of, what did I do wrong? It was the third baby, so I was just like, did I not drink enough water? Did I do this wrong? Did I do this wrong? What? Just running through my mind crazy, because we didn't know what happened. We didn't have a medical reason why I lost the baby, especially since I had healthy pregnancies and then had a healthy pregnancy after. So I just I journaled a lot and prayed a lot and just really tried to work through it as best as I could. And I would celebrate the good days, and if I had a bad day, then I would just say, okay, we're just going to move on, and tomorrow will be a better day. And so it's been 3.5 years now, and I can say that I'm in a better place. It's so hard to explain because you never move on. It's a scar. It's there forever. But, I'm definitely in a place of peace and not worrying so much and thinking so much about what happened, what did I do wrong to lose the baby. I definitely had my sad moments. They kind of hit almost like a punch in the gut. Like I'll be in the middle of doing something, say laundry, and it just like hits me. You lost a baby, and I just take a moment, catch my breath. Sometimes I'll use some essential oils and just breathe through it and just say, okay, this happened and this is a tough moment, but I'm gonna be okay. And so that has helped me a lot. Like I said, journaling has helped a lot. Talking with other friends that have gone through the same thing has helped a lot. So that would be my advice. And I think the biggest thing to remember is that if you've lost a baby, there is not a how to grieve process. Everyone grieves differently. I know that some people told me, oh, I had a miscarriage and I went back to work the next day. And it just made me feel like crap, honestly. Because I thought, well, I lost a baby 3 months ago and I still feel like crap and I'm still, very sad. So is there something wrong with me? Am I mourning wrong? So don't let anyone make you feel like you're grieving wrong. You take your time and just surround yourself with good people that are gracious and understanding and there for you, and just don't allow. I just remember I even had someone say, well, if you get pregnant again, make sure that you don't share the news with anyone until you're past 12 weeks, which didn't really make any sense because I lost the baby at 14 weeks, so we were already past the safety point anyway. So it's just things like that I don't know if people don't think or what, but you just kind of have to, just let it go and try to surround yourself with people that are super encouraging and that are going to help you through it. And like I said, it's been 3.5 years and I share about it. For me, I always write something on April 30th, which is the day that I lost the baby, and then October 27th, which is the day that the baby is due. And I still have friends that are like, I pray for you and I'm so sorry, and that just means so much. And I think for me now, I'm kind of in a place, as I look back, this is my journal, this is my miscarriage journal that a friend gave me, and as I look back on this, I can see, there was a lot of pain. And there still is, but I think sometimes I look back on it like when I wrote in April. And I just said, you know, I'm just at the point where I'm still hurt, but I want to honor you, talking to the baby. And that's kind of the point that I'm at. I'm still hurting. It doesn't happen every day. But I'll always remember the baby. I'll always remember Ansley. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, what can I do to honor my baby? And I got to that point because I started following a blogger who lost her 3-year-old son in a tragic, unexpected accident. And I watch her talk about the good days and the bad days, but she says, above all else, I just want to live a life that honors my son. That's what my son would want me to do. And I feel that way. That really helped me a lot to think about, you know, I lost this baby and it's painful and it's been hard, but I also want to take that and turn it into something good. And I don't have the answer to that right now. Sharing this video is one way. So that is my story. It definitely hasn't been an easy process, and like I said, I feel better every day. I don't feel like, oh, I'm healed or I've moved on. I just have the good days far outweigh the bad days now, and I think I'm just at a point right now where I can tell myself, you know, I have 3 babies with me that I get to hold. And I have one baby that I haven't held yet. And one day I'll get to hold my Ansley. And so I just think about that. I think about that, you know, one day I'll get to hold her, and oh, goodness. So that's my story so far. I am glad that I made this video, and I'm glad that I'm sharing my story again. And I just want to encourage you that if you have gone through the same loss, you're not alone, and your story is important and it needs to be heard. And when I say that, everyone's story is different and the amount of your story that you want to share is different. I just remember I had my miscarriage, and I had so many people that reached out to me to tell me that they had lost a baby and never had shared it with anyone. And for me, I just think that you should share your story, even if it's just a small amount. And I know it's hard because there are people that will say ridiculous things to you. There are people that will say, well, God needed your baby, or just be thankful for what you have, or, you know, just a long list of things that you're like, oh my gosh, you just don't understand. But I think when you haven't gone through it, it's hard to know what to say. And so if you know someone that has gone through a miscarriage, or a stillborn, any kind of loss like this, please just be there for them. And you don't feel like you have to give them advice. Don't feel like you have to give them this song or poem or just have these great words. Just, there were people that would text me and say, I have no words, but I'm so sorry, and I'm praying and thinking about you. And those meant so much. I don't need this long list of advice. So thank you guys so much for letting me share my video, and I would love to hear your story if you have gone through the same loss. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.